there is predetermination of intention, and there is predetermination of desire. It's all individual. You're not puppets on strings with a puppet master. Yes?
And do you mean like before taking the form that you choose to take? Because I've thought this before, like there's a certain thing or whatever that I want to learn and experience from. I've always thought that Earth is a place of, it's like a huge playground or like a school that we're like learning and evolving if we can. And sometimes we go off on tangents and then come back, but that tangent really brought us back anyway and needed to happen. Is that what you're saying? That like there's like, okay, I want to work on this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you choose an environment that will facilitate that.
Ooh.
And not one of you comes in with the intention to have the easiest, laziest time possible. Mostly you choose environments that are platforms that are like launching pads that will launch you into the stratosphere of experience. So you don't come into an environment that you want to get comfy, cozy in and hang out in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very easy for friends to then resent that they didn't come in to this feathered nest sort of environment and picked up bad habits from parents who were dysfunctional or school systems that were inadequate or whatever it was. But you come in for that platform from which to grow. Mm-hmm. You come in for those opportunities from which to grow. And if you loved it all and didn't want to leave it, no further growth would be desired. So most of you come in agreement with soulmates who are the orneriest, in many cases most abusive, pains in the ass that you could find from your non-physical vantage point so that you can get acclimated and then take off in the direction of further expansion. So we want that to assist you all in chilling out a little bit on resenting previous conditions. Not that we want you to not give them any thought at all, but that we want you to give them some appreciation. And that those who had been tending to the environment that you were born into were fulfilling similar intentions.
Right. Yeah.
And so everybody's one-upping the previous generation. You think your parents were challenging, you should have hung out with their parents in that situation. It is all improving, and not in just an A, B, C, D, E organized, definitive sort of way. It might look like people had it going on pretty well and then it sort of tanked for a while and then it got better from there. And there is a wave pattern to it, is a good way to describe it. A sort of fluctuating wave pattern where you dip down really far and then you come up higher than ever and then you just kind of ride little waves and then dip down really far and come higher than ever.
Yeah.
It's always that launching up. It's sort of, we've used the analogy of it's much easier to go down and spring up than it is to hold yourself rigid and try to spring up. Mm-hmm. You have to go down to get up higher. And so that's really what a lot of you are doing in the environment that you choose to come into, is you're getting down and dirty with it so that you can spring up to the height of your intentions coming in here.
That's a song right there.
So we say to everyone, there it is. You can't make this shit up, we like to say.
Well, you can.
And you do. You can't, but you do. And so we really encourage you, friends, all of you, everyone that we have the pleasure of hanging with in these conversations, to let everybody off the hook. Mm-hmm. Let everybody off the hook. And if it can't be done at once, and it almost never can, start the process, set the intention, and begin with yourself. Because when you've got yourself on the hook, you've got a bunch of other friends hanging on the hook with you. And when you let yourself off the hook, when you remember how perfect you are, that perfection being eternally expanding into more and more and more, never, never, never finish. When you appreciate and love yourself, are in love with yourself, suddenly all those other players in the game really aren't on the hook anymore. You're so appreciative of who you are, what you are, where you are now, and you realize, boy, if I hadn't come through that quagmire, I wouldn't have the clarity of perspective and the expansion that I have achieved in this specificity of a path. And so we want peace for you with the way that things have been up until now. And we just want passion for you in the way that things are going to be moving forward. And we want acceptance of the now that is the eternal interim between the two. So make peace with the past, make passion with the future, and make love with the now. These are good words. These are good words. And this is you. We sound like a smart guy flowing through a smart guy, but we promise, and we are not a smart guy, but we are intelligence, and this one is smart, but it takes a village for these sorts of visits. Imagine a piano with one key, and how boring that would get after a while. So it takes every note. You want that diversity. You want that potential for harmony and disharmony, so that you can sometimes think about the modulation in music that creates a tension that resolves itself, where you're not supposed to be able to bridge this note to this note with this note. But when you find a way to do it based upon the root or the diminishment or whatever it is, there are just endless possibilities to just these finite collection of notes on an 88-key machine. But how many millions of songs have been written and are going to continue to be invented and created that reflect where you are in the moment of creation? And so you've got as much here as you could possibly utilize to combine in brand new ways. You are the creators of these creations that you know as your physical bodies, and this creation that you know as your physical life. And your body is never static, and your life is never static. You have endless potential for yourself while you are here. It will end in terms of time and space here, and then you'll just do it again and again and again and again. But while you are here, we don't want you to feel any limitation to what you can accomplish and what you deserve at all. We certainly don't want that, or how valuable your contribution is, how perfect it is that you are you and only you this time around, contributing something that no one else came equipped to contribute or intending to contribute, that it's just you here to do it in your ways of doing it. And be excited about, what do I want to create now that I can maintain going forward? What do I want to create now that I can continue to create going forward? What choice do I want to make that I want to become a habit of choice right now? So when you're asking yourself, now what? You think, do I want the next thing that I choose to do to be something that I can do bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better and better? Or am I going to make a choice that I never want to make again right now? And it's entirely up to you. You got your ticket home either way. But we want this to feel like your home now, in the sense that we want you to relax. We want you to feel that you came home to this world that you had a hand in creating. And it's not your forever home, but it's a wonderful place to be establishing new desire from.
Thank you.
Good, really good. Friends, we don't offer words to console you or to make you feel better or to blow smoke up your ass or whatever it is, to compliment you because we're vibing your insecurity. We're not vibing your insecurity, we're vibing your security. And we can say that without question, without hesitation, this brilliant group of creators here has established a platform for growth that is beyond any that has been established up to this point. You are taking thought and intention and desire beyond that which it has ever been before. And you don't need to show off about it, and you don't need to prove it to anyone. We just want you to feel, for as long as you can ride the wave, real satisfaction with how amazing and brilliant and perfect and beautiful and loved and supported and limitless in potential you are. Until we meet again, we'll be spying on you up until that transpires. You are enthusiastically loved.